Hi everyone, welcome to Byte and Beyond with Uday. In the last video, we have implemented Singleton Design Pattern, but I mentioned that if we are using a class or Lazy Initialization Singleton Design Pattern, then reflection APIs can break this pattern. All right, so just for a quick recap, this is the class which we have designed and make it singleton. All right, so that instance basically give us a configuration manager instance or an object. So if you can see, I am calling this get instance method twice. All right, this, and I am getting an object configuration manager 1 and configuration manager 2. And over here I am comparing these two objects, just checking that these two objects are same or not. So let me run this class or yeah. So you can see it is returning true. It doesn't matter how many times, all right, how many times I invoke the get instance method. So you can see configuration manager 3. Even if I do even if I print this line, configuration manager 1 is equal to configuration manager 3, all right, still it is going to return true. You can see true. But as I mentioned, what do you think? I mentioned that reflection APIs can break the singleton pattern. What is your thought? But in real, yes, of course, reflection APIs can, you know, break the singleton pattern. We will we will see the real examples. I will do the code changes and I will show you how we can break the singleton pattern. All right. So what basically reflection does? So reflection can access private members. Sorry. Sorry, my health is not well. So pardon me. So reflection can access private members and bypass singletons normal restrictions. All right. Don't worry about this definition. We will see how exactly we can use reflection API and break the singleton design pattern. All right. So first of all, let me go to my IDE and show you. You can see this is a variable. All right, static variable. And once the object is created, all right, once the object is created, we are assigning that object to the this variable static instance static variable, and I am returning it. All right, so you can see I am creating an object, assigning to instance variable, and returning instance variable. So the first step, all right, let me undo this in the meantime. Okay, okay, perfect. So we can, we can break the singleton design pattern by setting this instance is equal to null. So what will I do? I will use the reflection API and set this instance is equal to null. So let's say I have created object once over here, all right, and then later on over here somewhere I will set the object, set the instance variable. This instance variable is equal to null. I will show you how. So if you see, this is our instance variable. I am going to use Java Reflection API. All right. And what I am going to do, currently instance variable is holding object one. All right. Using the reflection API, I am going to set instance variable to null. And then next time if I call the get instance, it is going to create a new object. So that's what I am going to do. So let me show you how exactly I can do that. All right. So let me go to the register class and So here is the snippet. Let me explain you what exactly I am doing over here. So as I mentioned, we are going to get the instance field. So this is the configuration manager class, all right? And then I'm calling class and then get declare field. This is the field name instance. This is the field name instance, all right? So I'm giving the field name and I'm assigning this field, all right? So I'm all doing with the reflection of API. You can see reflect field, all right? Huh. So so what I am doing, I am getting the instance static field and assigning that field to this variable instance field, all right? Now once I have this field, what I am doing, I am making it accessible. Why? Because if you see, the access modifier is private over here, meaning I cannot access this field outside my class. So first of all, what I need to do, I need to make it accessible outside the class. Now, once that is done, what I am doing over here at line number 24, I am setting the null. Why two times null? So let me show you. There are two params. First one is the requires the object. All right. Uh, because this is the static field and it belongs to class, so we don't have any object, right? This field, static fields do not belong to any objects. It belongs to class. So that is why I'm passing null because this is the class level fields, all right, not an object level. So I'm passing null. Then what kind of value I want to pass? So as I mentioned, as per the slide, you can see, mm, I, I want to set this instance variable as null. So that is why I am passing null over here. You can see null. Then I am calling, you can see, get instance over here. Just like above, just like above, all right? Just like above. I'm just calling get instance, assigning that instance to configuration manager 3. And then I'm comparing the configuration manager 3 with the earlier created objects. All right. So guess what will happen? This will return false. All right. Let's run this class and figure it out. So, you can see this is false. And it doesn't matter even if I, you might say that I'm comparing with manager 1. Even though I am compare this with manager 2, it is still going to return false. All right. You can see false. So, so you can see first I am getting calling the get instance. What will what it will do? It will create an object and assign to this variable. Now I am second time calling get instance because object is already available. It will directly return an object. So I am checking object is not null and I am directly returning an object. All right. So this configuration manager 1 and 2 will return true. So you can see it is returning true. But if I use the accessible API, I mean sorry, not accessible, reflection API. You can see reflection API. What I'm doing, I'm getting the instance field. I'm setting that instance field to null. Then I'm calling the get instance method because because this instance field set to null, it is going to create an object for us, a new object. All right, and we are getting the new object over here. And then if I compare configuration manager 2 and 3, it is going to return false. So you can see if we are using lazy singleton design pattern using the class, then our our singleton design pattern is going to break. Anybody can do something like this, all right? So this is, this is risky. There is another way to, break the singleton design pattern. So along with this, you can see uh, this instance field. I have marked the I have marked the constructor as private. So similar to field, I can make this constructor also accessible. Why as of now, why I have marked this constructor as private? Because nobody can access, or nobody create an object of this class outside of this class. So if I do at this moment, if I do new configuration manager, it is not going to work. All right. So, configuration, right? Configuration. Even though I am typing it, it is not going to happen. It will show me compilation error. You can see configuration manager has private access in patterns. All right. Private access, because I have marked that constructor as private. So I cannot access this constructor outside of this class, outside of configuration manager class. All right. So what I am going to do, I am going to make this constructor accessible, and I'm going to create an object. All right. Using this new keyword itself. All right. So let me remove this. All right. So over here, this is the snippet that is going to mark, or that is going to make our private constructor to public. All right. So let's see what I am doing over here. So configuration manager. So this is the class. All right. Our singleton design pattern class. I am calling class, and after that I am calling get declared. uh, Sorry, get declared constructor. So I am getting the declared constructor. All right. This is the constructor. Now, what I am doing, once I have the constructor, I'm I'm setting this that constructor to true, so I can access it. All right. Then what I am doing, I am I am doing once I have the constructor and it is marked as accessible, I am using this variable. This belongs to, by the way, this belongs to the reflection API. You can see constructor reflect. All right. So what I am going to do, I am calling new instance. All right, new instance. And even if I now, after creating this new instance, all right, I'm creating config manager 4, all right, using the reflection API, and I am comparing with configuration manager 1 and 4. You can guess, definitely it is going to return false, because these two are different objects. All right. So you can see, so we have total three objects. Configuration manager 1 and 2 are sharing the same object or using the same object. All right. Then we are using reflection API over here to make the instance variable as null. So it is going to create a new object. So this is the third one object. All right. And then huh, I am I am making the private constructor accessible, and I am creating a new instance. All right. So this is the um, yeah, this is the third object. So over here, first object will be created. Same object will be used for configuration manager 1 and 2. All right. So we have one object so far. By setting the instance field as null, I'm creating second object. And by making the private constructor accessible, I'm creating the third object. So if I run this, definitely it is showing us false. Even if I compare with configuration manager 3 over here, this is the one which we have created by setting that instance variable as null. So even if I, do this, it will definitely going to return false. You can see false. So yeah, that this is the problem with the uh, lazy singleton design pattern. So anybody can use reflection API and break our singleton design pattern. Then you might thinking, what is the solution? Uh, then we have a eager initialization singleton design pattern. We can we can create or we can achieve singleton design pattern using enum. All right. So that we will explore in the next video. In this video, this is more than enough. I hope you have learned something new today. And if you would like to access these source code, I will put the GitHub link inside the YouTube video description. So please check it out. And yeah, if you find my video useful, then please like, share, subscribe, comment. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.